So I'm watching Stamina for Sale. Shout out to Spencer Fearon. I agree with most of everything that he says, but his co-host seemed like he got something against the American boxing scene. I remember a couple weeks ago he was talking about American fighters were fat, and now he's saying why do British fighters keep going to America? They're like amazed by the American accent, and they believe that America is like, like we know whatever we're talking about because we're America. Well, let's look at the facts, dude. Um, let's compare great American fighters to great British fighters. I don't think it's any comparison. You guys started boxing, but we took it over, kind of like hip hop. Started in the East Coast, but what blew it up? The West Coast. Usually, the second thing to come out is usually better. And America's a lot harder place to grow up than the UK, and usually the harder the place, the harder the fighter. Like the Ukraine right now, it's a tough place to be, and they produce some of the greatest fighters. But dude was just going in on America like we don't know what we're talking about. And until Lennox Lewis, they used to call the British heavyweights the horizontal heavyweights because they'd always be laying flat. Nobody took British fighters seriously. And this dude was talking about that he didn't consider Lennox Lewis even British because he got schooled. He went to school in Canada, but I mean, he still grew up a little bit of the time in the UK. But if we have a longer lineage of great fighters than the UK, how can you try to act like we don't know what we're talking about? And he was talking about, I guess, spending some time in the Floyd Mayweather gym, and he said something like, what's that fighter's name? Badu Jack. He was saying Badu Jack was like the only one I think that was training hard at Floyd Mayweather's gym. I mean, what are you trying to say? American fighters are lazy? Like I said, up until recently, America was running boxing. So let's not act like now all of a sudden that America's just trash and our trainers don't know what they're talking about. Where do the best trainers come from? Right here. Emmanuel Stewart. Who trained Alexander Usyk his first 3 years as cruiserweight champion? James Bashir. From here. Harold the Shadow Knight in Lennox Lewis's corner. From here, New Jersey. Lou Duva. Tommy Brooks. Let's see, who else? Who can I go through? And there's a lot of trainers that from here that I might not consider great, but they're probably great compared to the trainers in the UK. And I love the UK. Shout out to all the boxing people out there in the UK. But dude was just going in on us like we don't know what we're talking about, and he was getting angry like British fighters just come over here and they're just like put in a trance by our American accent. But nah, I love the UK. Like I said, I love the UK. When I used to go to Lennox Lewis fights, I would just, be talking to the British fans, and they were real big boxing people. Shout out to the boxing platform here on YouTube, Boxing on the Edge. Go subscribe to his platform if you haven't already. Great, great. He knows a lot about the sport, and you can tell that he used to fight before, and he just really knows what he's talking about. I believe he's from the UK. Boxing on the Edge. Go subscribe. But man, it's like this dude just had it in for America. It's like our fighters may not be what they once were, and the American heavyweights don't quite look as ferocious as they used to look in the '90s and the '80s. But you know, I don't know what to say about that. But hopefully, America will be back and produce some more great trainers slash teachers. It's like James Bashir was saying, and even Spencer Fearon, he said he's not a trainer, he's a teacher. And that's where we need teachers. A great trainer slash teacher is one that's able to adapt in the middle of the fight. You have to have a trainer that can adapt. If you can't adapt, then what's the use? You don't just stick to a game plan when it's not working and say, well, it should work. That's, what we saw on film and how we drew it up on paper. So we're going to stick with it. No, you have to adapt. In any sport, you have to adapt. In football, you have a game plan. If your game plan's not working, you adapt. And those coaches and trainers that adapt are considered the best at what they do. But America, you're being called out by some people in the UK. You're going to step it up. You're going to get clowned anymore by the UK. But a lot of the people from the UK still consider Lennox Lewis, one of their own. And he's a true world champion. Jamaican, British, trained here in America, fought in America, a true world champion. And there hasn't been an undisputed champion heavyweight since Lennox Lewis, 20-some years. Another topic. I wonder, do more people in the UK feel the way this guy does? I'm sorry, I don't know his name, from the Stamina for Sale platform. I know Spencer Fearon. I'm not sure with the other guy, but he just doesn't seem like he's too big on America. I don't know when he visited exactly why that is. I don't know if he was sparring and got his head handed to him or something, but he seems to have it in for America. I don't know. But America's just a harder place to live. I don't know. I know the UK's probably got hoods, but they ain't nothing like the hoods in America. Nothing like California and Brownsville in New York, Compton, California, Southeast San Diego, Oakland, Long Beach. It ain't nothing like that. So these places where people had to grow up hard, produce hard fighters, and hard fighters, when they retire, turn into hard trainers. So we have a long list of good trainers. You guys might have a long list of trainers, but I don't know how good they are because, like I said, we have the longer list of great fighters compared to the UK. Was Frank Bruno great? He was good. I wouldn't say he was great. In big fights, he kind of would drop the ball, or should I say drop the gloves. Lost to Mike Tyson twice, lost to Lennox Lewis, even though, okay, you know how that goes. You'll say, well, he was British, and some will say he's not, but he still lost to Lennox Lewis. There are some great British fighters. I don't know about in the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury, who's gypsy, he's a traveler, but I believe he grew up in the UK. But you got Nigel Benn, not a heavyweight. Prince Nassim got beat by a Mexican American, I do believe, and that ended his career. But that dude was just going in on America. I was even writing in. I was like, y'all dissing my country. I was like, I got huge respect from the UK and I'm from America. But I just couldn't stand by and let him diss my country like that, man. Nah. But everyone's entitled to their own opinion, no matter how whack it is. Anyway, it's the J. Roos Theory. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe. LSR forever. And don't forget, Yeshua reigns supreme. He's the only almighty one out there. The only one. The only almighty. Yahweh, Yeshua. Be fearless. Did I say LSR forever? Then be fearless. Yay, yay.